angular.
Uh-huh.
Cassis.
Cassis?
Opulent.
Okay.
You're not familiar with those terms, are you?
What are you talking about?
Me
No.
neither. That's good. That's a good thing.
What did you do? What happened?
Listen, there are some wine clubs that babble on and on about herbaceousness.
Herbaceous.
Apparently that's a word.
Okay.
Honestly, I just want to know, does my wine taste good? As you know, that's all I care about.
That's all you care about.
Luckily, I found First Leaf.
What's that? What's that?
It's the only wine club that's based on your taste, not, like your herbaceousness level or whatever the hell.
Right, or your opulence, apparently.
Right. Or how angular your wine is.
Cassis.
I just received my First Leaf order, and there's honestly, some damn good wines.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, why? Tell me.
I'm drinking right now. Okay, so here's how it works. What you do is you customize your First Leaf order by selecting the color, wine regions, and frequency of your wine shipments. Then First Leaf creates an introductory 3-pack of wine to get you started. And I'm drinking the 2013 Daring Escape Red. And look at the label.
Oh, man. Oh, cool. It's the Little Red Riding Hood.
It's so cool.
With the wolf holding the basket for her.
It's amazing. It's like a beautiful label. It's a beautiful bottle.
So you just get to customize and pick all of your wine, and they set you up with 3 bottles for you to try.
Well, you take a quiz and say like what types of wine and what regions and things like that, and then they customize the bottles they send you. So it's still a surprise for you, but it's
a quiz you can't fail.
Right, exactly.
There you go.
And it's customized to your taste. So this 2013 Daring Escape Red is so good, and I'm drinking it right now.
You drank it?
It's all gone.
You have a sip left.
I have an ounce left, but it was so good. So with First Leaf's introductory pack, you'll get all 3 wines for just $5 each. $5 each.
$5? That's better than boxed.
Normally these bottles go for $20 each, if not more. So when your bottles arrive, you get to rate the wine. Then you get personalized selections based on your unique taste. So it's sort of like a Pandora for wines. First Leaf eliminates the middleman, works directly with the world's foremost wineries in France, Italy, and Napa Valley, aka
home,
just
heaven,
everywhere I want to be. Mm-hmm. First Leaf is my new favorite way to rate and buy quality wine. You guys, to order your 3-pack of introductory wine for $15 for 3 whole bottles.
Oh my gosh, that's like a $60 value. And they want you to rate the wine, and the more wine you rate, they're just asking you to drink more wine. That's
just like
that's
helping
your dream.
You. They're helping all.
They're just like, come on, do it.
They're like, we'll enable you.
Yeah.
So to order your 3-pack of introductory wine for $15, go to tryfirstleaf.com/drink. That's 3 bottles of wine for only $15 at tryfirstleaf.com/drink. Drink. Experience First Leaf today at tryfirstleaf.com/drink. How many times do I have to say it?
I don't know. Just do it.
Just do it. Go ahead. Go.
And that's why we drink.
Oh, shit.
No, you gotta hold it from the tip. No, hold it from the tip. No. You gotta, wait, here, hold that one with the tip too.
Oh, okay.
You ready?
Yeah. Hashtag blooper reel.
Funk. Welcome to the Plunger Fort.
We're still here.
It's been a month now.
We haven't left. We've been sitting here for 30 days.
Also, did you do that with the thumbtack?
Do what?
It's literally sitting up right there.
What?
Did you do that?
No.
I'm not touching it.
Ew.
There's a thumbtack that's literally standing on its point.
Who did that?
It's really not me.
It's probably a ghost.
Oh, God, it's Cellar Girl. I know it's a girl, too. That's the creepy part.
I'm sorry, what?
I'm telling you this place is haunted. Welcome to And That's Why We Drink.
You can't just tell me there's a cellar girl and then, move on.
Christine, what are you drinking?
Okay.
I'm just going to keep ignoring you.
Now I'm so uncomfortable.
Let's talk about wine. It makes you feel better.
It does make me feel better.
You.
I mean, I know I already said this, but I'm drinking the 2013 Daring Escape Red from First Leaf Wines. It is the best wine I've had.
You can't stop talking about it.
The best wine I've had in a very long time. So please.
Okay, just to be fair, Christine is sitting right next to her boxed wine and hasn't touched it all night. She just keeps touching the empty bottle. There's full wine right next to her, and she's touching the empty bottle more than the full one.
I'm a psycho. It's so good. Anyway, what are you drinking?
I just ran to Starbucks on my way here because I'm trying to make light of the situation that is our distance.
Are you drinking a pumpkin spice frappuccino?
No, I'm not.
Like a basic bitch?
I'm not a basic bitch in that regard.
Okay.
Also, I hate the taste of pumpkin.
I do too.
I really don't like it.
I don't either. I don't like pumpkin spice
When it comes
lattes.
to like fall flavors, I'm like an apple cider kind of guy.
too.
Or like cinnamon is a good one.
I like the Christmas ones though. I love
a good
peppermint.
Christmas taste. Oh,
you know,
yes.
all that
Oh,
shit.
yes.
The peppermint mocha is my favorite.
Okay, I don't like coffee though. Peppermint and chocolate.
Peppermint
Thin
hot
Mints.
chocolate and Thin Mints. Thin Mints.
Whenever I can throw a Thin Mint in. You know what? The Christmas version of a Thin Mint is a chocolate mint Milano.
Oh, those are...
Because you get those in the tins.
And
the
those
Christmas
are,
tins.
Oh, the
I know.
best.
I know. Let's not even get into it.
Hey, Girl Scouts of America, do you want to sponsor us?
Or Pepperidge Farm, because a Sausalito cookie is unmatched.
I would be 1,000 pounds at my wedding. 1,000.
I can eat I don't even know why I'm saying this like it's a surprise, because I tell myself everyone does this, but like a whole bag of Sausalito cookies
100%.
is a serving size to me.
Yeah.
I eat all 8 of them in a minute.
Yeah, I would go to my dad's on the weekends, like when like my parents got divorced, and I would go to my dad's and he'd be like, "What do you want for the weekend?" And I'd be like, "Pepperidge Farm cookies." And he would buy like 3 bags and I'd be like, "This one's mine."
We had a very different experience, because I remember growing up, my father in his office, he had a kitchen in his office, because his office was haunted. We should talk about that, because it was an old farmhouse.
Oh shit.
But in the kitchen part, which used to be an actual kitchen in the farmhouse,
Sure.
but it was his employees only office.
Sure.
My dad used to get Sausalito Pepperidge Farm cookies. I probably don't actually like these cookies, but psychologically I crave them because I couldn't have them when I was little. Because he would put them on the highest shelf and he wouldn't touch them. He wouldn't let anyone eat them. Those and the Edmonds donuts.
Oh, my dad bought those too.
Those are my 2 favorite snacks now, and I really think it's just because
And they're not even that good.
I wasn't allowed. Like if I even thought about reaching my hand up and pretending to grab one, he would snap. He'd be like, "Those are mine," and I'd be like, "Ugh." And he's a child of 4, so like he knows how to share. And I'm the only child, and people now blame me for not wanting to share food on the fact that I'm an only child. And I'm like, no, my dad just wouldn't share cookies with me. It's not that hard.
It was traumatizing. But there are a lot of kids who grew up with multiple siblings who learned to like hoard their food because they didn't want their siblings taking it. Because that's my mom was one of 8, and she said like if you didn't eat it immediately, everyone else would eat it.
That's more like my mom's side, the culturally Jewish family, where it's like if you don't eat fast, you don't eat. So I guess
exactly.
I exactly. Okay.
I mean, the thing
I know
was,
what he was doing then.
The thing was, I gained a ton of weight when I was little because when my parents got divorced, it was that like stereotypical thing of my dad was like the divorced dad who was like, we can eat shit and watch movies and go mini golfing and then send you back to your mom's to do homework, you know?
Yeah.
So we would go, and my dad, I distinctly remember, had a peanut M&M like dispenser next to my bed that he installed because I love peanut M&Ms, and I would just like get to eat peanut M&Ms all night in my bed after I brushed my teeth. And I'm looking back like, no wonder I was a fat kid.
Divorce sounds fun.
It's a blast. You do get 2 Christmases, so it's like,
oh, trust me, I've seen a lot of divorces.
it's like fine.
Hi, Mom.
Anyway, hey ma.
And that's why she drinks.
That's why we all drink. I do want to say one thing. It's Brenda's birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, Brenda.
Brenda is a loyal listener and a good friend to the podcast, so we just want to give her a little shout out. We don't usually do birthday shout outs because
there's so many of you requesting it, which is not a bad thing.
it's a great thing.
We're not mad at you. There's just so many that if you do listen to the listeners' episodes and you listen to us thank all of our Patreon donators ahead of time, every episode would sound like that with how many birthday requests we get. So
also, happy birthday to everyone else who's having a birthday this October. My little sister's birthday was October 9th. So happy belated to her.
I will say anyone having a birthday right now specifically, congratulations, because that means you're a Libra, and I fucking love Libras.
I do too. I was about to say all the best people in my life are Libras.
Libras and Leos are my homies.
Oh, Libras and Aquarius are my homies.
Aries. Okay. Well, we're Geminis. I was going to be like, wow, we have the same interests, but we're both Geminis.
It's definitely
Geminis love the A's and the L's, and we hate the S's.
Yes. Yes, we do.
So we love Aries, Aquarius, Leo, Libra, and we do not get along with Scorpio or Sagittarius. Deirdre's a Sagittarius.
Oh, interesting, because Deirdre is actually the person who suggested this week's story.
Aw.
What a gem. Also, again, because I always fucking do this, Also, this week's episode is dedicated to another one of our $25 patrons. You want to know her name?
Please tell me.
It's Priscilla Hernandez.
Love it. What a good name.
What a babe.
What a babe.
Priscilla, thank you for being a loyal listener and supporter. This episode is dedicated to you. We love you.
We love you.
Any other wise words before we get started?
No, I don't have any.
Read me a bedtime story.
To my Libras out there.
To all the L's, A's, and
no S's.
No S's.
Except Deirdre.
And Geo.
Oh, and Geo. Also, fun fact about Libras, my grandma, fun fact, everyone's been divorced in my family. But
mine too, oh my God.
But so everyone in my family says that when they find the right one, they're always a Libra. So my grandma was married and then remarried and found a Libra, and they're just like the happiest people on earth.
Oh.
My mom has married and then got divorced and then married and then got divorced and then married and then got divorced. Yes. And then she found a Libra. And now they're engaged, so good luck, Tom. And
both of my step-parents are Aries.
Okay. Well, Allison's a Libra, so...
I swear to God, it's the Libras.
No pressure, Allison. Just...
It's the Libras.
Don't leave. Don't leave me.
Oh my God, there's so
oh my God.
There's so much pressure.
There's so many people listening to this right now. Everyone tell Allison to not leave me.
Oh no, because now they're going to do it.
She's going to leave now.
Oh.
That's what I did there.
You just fucked up your relationship.
Also, she just texted me and said, by the way, make sure to be funny in this episode. So...
Oh my God. This is like that time when I went on an improv show and invited Lisa Lampanelli, and she texted me as I was walking up to the stage being like, don't fuck this up. Yeah. And I was like, wait, fuck you. Like, don't fuck this up. You better be funny. Like, such an asshole.
We have really good friends.
Yeah, clearly.
Okay, so this one I've been getting requested a bajillion times.
Oh my God, a bajillion.
So I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to cater to your needs.
It's like we already do so much for you, but like finally
left and right.
You're giving all of yourself to all these people.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, it's like we might as well do one more thing for you.
Right. Like, here's the straw.
Fine.
Here's the last one.
I'm just gonna have a total breakdown right now.
Halfway through, if you just actually travel 5 minutes into the future, just go 5 minutes further into this audio, and I'll probably be crying about something.
The plunger will have crumbled to the... Well, it'll just be on the floor.
No, I'll have had a mental breakdown. I'll have snapped the plunger in half.
Oh, no.
Christine will be on the other side of the house.
There will be a true crime story about death by plunger.
Gio will be barking, and you'll just hear sirens out the window.
You guys.
Anyway, it's the St. Augustine Lighthouse.
Oh, interesting.
Yes.
I've never heard of this.
Really? It's
No.
like one of the more famous locations. Anything, actually.
It's just like a really famous thing.
As a lighthouse, it's probably the most
There's
haunted.
like the Mona Lisa and the Leaning Tower of Pisa, and then like this
Actually,
lighthouse.
it's so funny to say that because this is called the Mona Lisa of haunted locations.
No,
I'm not kidding.
I'm so psychic.
We know that.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
I feel really good about myself. Let's just move on. Is that in Florida?
Yes.
Okay.
In St. Augustine, Florida.
I think Celine's brother, I think his middle name's Augustine, and I think it's after the town in Florida.
Oh, cool. So in 1586.
I'm sorry. Were you going
to ask me if we were born? The answer is no.
Well, had God like invented humans yet?
No.
So
not at all.
It was just the
animals were doing the counting.
Okay. Got it.
So in 1586, the first tower was made of wood and burned to the ground. Fun. And
Look how it's just like its own history.
I'm just trying to give you some history at all, because there's really not like, okay, so there's a whole page that Christine's looking at right now. All of these are manifestations.
Whoa.
So the history is like a bullet. So I'm trying to give you whatever I can.
Okay, so it burned to the ground.
Yeah. The end. So
that's quite a story.
That's a wrap.
15...
I'm sorry, is that an empty bottle and an empty box of wine both next to each other at the same time? What the fuck is wrong with you?
It's been a really long week.
It's just a downward It's Thursday. You haven't even made it to the end.
And then Nickelodeon thing, and then moving and trying to clean this fucking house and then getting almost robbed. It's just been
and then in the hospital.
And then in the fucking... Oh, right, that too. That's quite a...
You still have bruises, don't you?
Oh, yeah. They're all over my arm.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
Sorry, go on.
So something burned to the ground a billion years ago.
Oh my God, just... It was more
and
like...
me as a history teacher.
Half a billion, but yeah, okay.
So in...
You would like read people's essays or like quizzes and be like, close enough.
I'd be like, there's a person who did a thing. Yeah.
Columbus, 1892, whatever, it's close enough.
Oh, Columbus, his name was not Kyle, but, whatever. Kyle Columbus.
Classic Kevin Columbus.
Classic Kyle.
Classic Carl and Kevin Columbus.
So in 1683, like a whole almost 100 years later.
Holy.
The second wooden lookout tower was replaced with a sturdy, well-made coquina shell structure. Coquina is like a sediment stone that is only found there.
Oh.
And like 2 other places in the world.
Oh, shit. So wait.
So originally this wasn't a lighthouse. They were just like lookout towers.
Do you know who's like making these? Like natives? Or is it like Columbus?
The government? I don't. Christopher.
Was there a government?
Kyle Columbus, maybe?
I think it was Kyle. Or maybe it was Carl Columbus.
I think it was the twins.
It was a twin, Kyle and Carl Columbus.
The Columbus twins. This is me as a history teacher and you as my fucking substitute.
I'm the TA. I'm like, yeah. The Columbus twins.
Oh, yeah, that's the Columbus twins. They were there.
Kyle and Carl Columbus.
Okay.
Oh my god, it's actually very fortuitous. Isn't like Columbus Day tomorrow?
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, how would I fucking know? I'm only American.
Kyle Columbus.
Is tomorrow Columbus Day?
Oh no, sorry. Last Monday was Columbus Day.
Happy fake American founding day.
Happy belated Carl and Kyle Day.
To everyone,
Indigenous People Day.
Yes.
Hashtag political statement.
Happy I'm sorry day from all of us current Americans.
So much to apologize for.
There's so much.
Carl and Kyle, I'm so
sorry. Disappointed. I don't claim them. They're not mine.
We have a lot to apologize for.
So in 1820, we're really skipping through time.
So Carl and Kyle are long dead at this time.
So Carl and Kyle got in their fucking DeLorean and hopped over to 1820.
Or it could be Carl and Kyle the third.
Oh. Or the very Back to the Future of you.
Mm-hmm. I try.
I thought you just might. So in 1820, the structure is finally converted into a real lighthouse. So, it only took almost 300 years. No big deal.
It's fine.
In 1876, the lighthouse, they built a spot, because originally the light keepers, so like a housekeeper, a light keeper.
Sure.
They were living on the grounds near the lighthouse, but now they were building a spot in the lighthouse to be basically an apartment for where...
Oh, so they would like live there.
They lived in the lighthouse.
Okay.
That happened in 1876.
Which I feel like became a thing.
I think so.
Because I feel like in the Northeast too, like most light keepers would live in the lighthouse.
Light keeper.
That's such a... Isn't it... lighthouse keeper? Light keeper?
I don't know.
Whatever. Same thing.
On the Quidditch team, I was a keeper.
Were you?
I'm a keeper.
Yeah, you are.
Allison.
I applied to be on the Quidditch team and they rejected me because I said I wasn't athletic enough, so...
I wasn't athletic enough either. I was a keeper. I was goalie. I didn't have to do anything.
Oh.
But the poor snitch, holy crap, you had to like be on the track team and be able to run like 10 miles without stopping.
I asked to be the keeper and they were like, we actually have some people who are more qualified. I was like, fuck you.
Our Quidditch team was so like underrated. No one even knew we had a Quidditch team. So they were just desperate for people. There wasn't even really a tryout. It was like, please be the keeper.
I went to the nerdiest school of all time. So they were like, we have way too many. They're like, go try out for the basketball team. Maybe you'll make that.
Go try out for football, you fucking square.
We had like we had t-shirts that said undefeated since like 18 whatever or 1920 because we didn't have a football team. Oh. So it was like American University football undefeated since 1922 or whatever year our school was founded because like we didn't have a fucking football team.
We had a football team. We're D3, so like to people with actual football teams, we don't have a football team.
We were D3 basketball, and we were very proud of it.
We were D3 basketball, and we were really good. But I mean, we were really good for D3.
They would like try to make us go to the games by being like, "We have free pizza, please come." So sad, but I couldn't make it on the Quidditch team because it was too competitive. Like it's so sad.
I played for a semester. It was not worth my time.
I realized how much they were running around, and it was like, I don't want to do that.
I was like, I don't need this kind of negativity. I was like,
no.
I'd rather be surrounded by pizza eaters and hookah smokers and
keep that out of my life.
Yeah. All right, where were we?
We were talking about Quidditch, I think.
Okay, so light keepers.
Sure, that.
So currently the lighthouse has been restored and is now open to the public. So it's like 500 years old, basically.
Holy crap!
Or it's like 450 or something like that. Also, fun fact, these days they have several tours. They also have 8 different paranormal investigation companies that work with them to do tours and investigations.
8?
8. But they have their own personal paranormal tour called the Dark of the Moon tour.
That sounds creepy.
The thing I like about it is that the only light provided on this tour, because it's a night tour throughout the lighthouse in the middle of the dark, the only light provided are glow sticks around your neck, so you can see other people.
I was about to say, it's the light of the moon. But
it's the light of the moon in the Dark of the Moon tour.
Say it with you, but glow sticks. Okay.
Glad we didn't try anything in unison there.
Would have been real bad.
So, fun fact, children are often prone to accidents here. So, in 1873, during construction of the tower, the foreman who lived on the grounds, his children were playing around on the property. And they were playing on a supply cart that, I guess back then they had like tram carts that go from the lighthouse to the dock of the ocean.
Yeah.
So the kids were riding the tram, and the cart broke loose off the cables, and they weren't able to jump out in time. And the cart slid rapidly into the water, plummeting. So both of them ended up getting stuck in the water, and it had turned upside down. So like they couldn't lift it.
What the fuck?
So 2 of his 4 kids survived. The other 2 drowned, and their friend also drowned.
Wait, that's really fucking sad.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
So the 2 youngest survived, and the 2 oldest drowned with their friend.
Oh, that is heartbreaking. Wait, the oldest drowned or the oldest survived?
The oldest drowned. Oof. And the 2 younger ones survived.
That's tragic.
So that's that for the history.
Well, that was fun.
So here are just all the ways that it's been haunted.
Okay, I'm ready.
The staff locks the door before they... the staff will lock the doors before they leave, but when they come back, the doors will be wide open when the staff is coming in to work.
Oh, no.
The lighthouse staff will also report the chairs have been moved, overturned, or are now upside down. Various items in the gift shop will go missing or move on their own, only to reappear in their own spot later after you're looking for it.
We know about that.
We know all about that. Mr.
Chatfield.
I was like, Mr. Charleston.
Close enough. It's the same thing.
Me in history. Good enough.
It's like Kyle, whatever.
It's like Kyle Columbus.
Kyle Chatfield. It's fine.
Music boxes have been known to wind up and play by themselves.
Okay, that's... remember Celine, who submitted the stories? She had a music box that would play by itself.
No, she didn't.
I remember one time we came home and she was in the backyard, like up the hill, sitting by herself in like behind the bushes. And I was like, what are you doing up there? Because we were next door neighbors. And she's like, I got home from school and she was home alone. And she said she was sitting in her room and she had like this old music box that like she never touched, and it was on a shelf, and it just started like going off. And so she ran outside, and then she got onto her back porch, and she was like calling her Uncle David, who lived up the street. And so she was calling him on the house phone, and she saw 2 men walking down the back hill, like through the brush. We had these like weird ass, like,
what the fuck?
Big hills that were really creepy.
So was it a break-in?
She has no idea, but so she saw like 2 men walking back, so she ran to the front porch, and then her Uncle David was like, come over. So she ran up the street and went to his house, and like her parents came home and nothing was like wrong, but she was hysterical. Like she said there were 2 men just like, it was all like ivy, like overgrown, and she said they were just walking down the hill. It was really steep in her backyard. And
what the fuck?
She was terrified, and after that I was like hesitant to sleep over. Anyway, sorry.
Oh my god,
it's just one of my
okay, well, everyone send prayers to Celine.
Like, whatever.
Everyone, like, just in your mind's eye, go back to that time and give her good wishes, and maybe we're what saved her.
Maybe.
Let's make it about us.
We were those scary men walking through the ivy to protect her.
Oh, there it is.
Okay.
More like our good wishes now are the ones that told her to get out of the house.
Oh, yes, that's more like it.
So, one tour guide said that the creepiest thing was hearing the music boxes wind up on their own.
Oh, that is
and
creepy.
And then hearing them play.
So someone's like manually winding them. Oof.
Some say the lightkeeper's quarters is always 10 degrees colder, and they always feel really like frigid when they go in there. And a tall man will appear before them and then disappear into mist.
Oof.
Shadow figures will walk around the tower. Misty hands and live human hands will come through the tower door as if pushing the door open or pulling it closed. So it'll show up as either an apparition or like a full-bodied figure. Like they'll see like what looks like normal human hands, but they know they're the only people there.
Oh, no.
One tour guide also saw furniture moving around by itself, like watched it moving around by itself.
Oh, my God.
One tour guide said, I've had a few arm hairs plugged off me. I know. Ow.
Like, at least take the eyebrow hairs to, like, make it look better on you.
Yeah,
You know
like,
what I
at
mean?
least to, like, help us.
Like, personal hygiene.
What's the word I'm thinking of? Like, frame our face? Or, I don't know what the word is.
Pluck your eyebrow hairs?
Sure, whatever. Just be kinder. Don't pluck my arm hairs. That's that easy.
It's not hard.
Or like get the stray hair that's on someone's chin that they're missing, or like, you know how some people get like one, like I have a weird arm hair that like grows like
back.
No, it like grows like 10 times the length of any other arm hair.
And it like, you'll pluck it and it'll come back,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
The follicle has superpowers.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Like, why doesn't the ghost say like, oh, you missed a spot?
Yeah, exactly.
Instead it's like,
Like what if you're like shaving your legs? Like, can't you help us there?
Oh, yeah, just like get that strip that I always miss.
That's what I'm saying. You could do it a lot of different ways to get my attention. It could be helpful.
Nope.
Okay, the tour guide said, I've had a few arm hairs plucked off me in the basement of the keeper's house. Rather recently, I had my ankle grabbed. That was pretty amusing since I was in the middle of my tour, so it looked like I randomly tripped over air. Wouldn't that be nice for all the times I've tripped in my fucking life to just be like, oh, it was a ghost, not me being clumsy?
Oh my God, that's probably what he did. He probably did trip and he was like, no, it was totally somebody
He's
grabbed
like, I did
me.
that on purpose. That was just a ghost.
Oh my
If I
God.
could use that for every time, I would have used that excuse 1,000 times.
Yeah, you should use that excuse. You were like, oh, as a paranormal investigator, sometimes ghosts just grab me and I fall on my face.
Oh yeah, that's the reason. I actually am very graceful. You just wouldn't know it because the ghosts try to keep me down.
I'm so graceful.
So another tour guide said one night the automated light system in the lighthouse was acting weird. So when he arrived, he went across the yard to the lighthouse and he heard a guy's footsteps behind him on the gravel. And so he turned around and the footsteps stopped and no one was there. And as he climbed the stairs to the top, he heard the footsteps again. And after checking the problem and fixing it, he like booked it, but he heard a guy like, and it's like an open room. Like he can definitely see if someone's there or not. And he could hear the footsteps pacing behind him while he was fixing the lights.
Oh, no.
So the guy like just totally followed him up there.
No.
There have been disembodied conversations that people can't understand, but have definitely heard. People can smell the cigars that the light keepers used to smoke on the premises before the property banned smoking. Mm-hmm. On the show Ghost Hunters,
Zach Bagans.
Zach Bagans still hasn't unblocked you, has he?
I'm waiting for the day.
They during their investigation, they found unusual sounds, voices, and strange shadows moving up and down the lighthouse. But apparently those are all common things that people catch anyway. So to the people working there, they were like, well, yeah.
Yeah, like you didn't need a TV show to tell us
I was
that.
like, oh, thank you, Zach Bagans, for your ego.
Thanks, Mr. Baggins.
So,
And your acid wash jeans. I'm just bitter. I'm sorry, I'm just bitter. It's fine.
it's not you, it's me.
It's not Zach.
It's not me. I'm not saying it's me. I'm just also saying it's not you. So it's someone, but also not me.
But like, don't get the wrong idea.
I don't hate you, but I also don't like you.
It's like, do you get it?
Yeah. Okay. I got it.
Okay, good.
I don't think anyone else has, though.
No, nobody gets it, but no.
So one guard walked down the hallway in the middle of the night after hearing giggling of children and found dirty footprints of a child up and down the stairs. And then when he went up there was no one there.
Can you imagine just being like, oh, is there a child in here?
But yeah, can you imagine like knowing that there's children ghosts and so you just don't know when they're ever going to be around?
It's like creepy enough to have like actual children running around giggling.
Live human children are creepy enough. Don't make them dead and invisible and have dirty feet.
And
Because that's also rude. Like
that.
If you're the light keeper or the guard and you have to keep that place clean and now you're seeing muddy shoes and there's no one to even like discipline.
Yeah.
Workers will also find locked doors standing wide open the next day. They'll hear children's laughter on the stairwell. And tour guides will reportedly experience multiple incidences of being touched or grabbed by ghosts, just like that one guy who got grabbed and tripped.
Oh, right.
In 2009, a cell tower technician took a photo of his coworker with the lighthouse in the background. And when the picture developed, you can see a young girl in a long dress with long hair standing alone at the top observation deck.
Oh, no. That's like out of a movie.
There's a guy known as the Man in Blue who apparently will follow you all the way up the stairs and all the way down the stairs, which, by the way, is 219 stairs.
Who the fuck is walking up and down those stairs?
But this is my kind of party because apparently they have breaks at every 50-step interval.
Oh,
like
okay.
they have like places for you. I don't know if it's places for you to chill because it's a fucking lighthouse, or it's at least a wide platform for you
Is
to
there
stand.
like a snack stand?
See, if I were in charge of this lighthouse, every 2 steps there'd be a break and it'd be a nice sauna spa lounge.
They'd also have like a little like wine bar.
Your reward as you climb is that each break lounge gets better.
Oh, sure. There's like a cocktail hour.
At the very top, there's like a midnight bar.
Oh,
You know
for
what I'm
sure.
saying?
With like
but you really gotta want it.
You gotta like work those calves to get there.
I'm just saying, I'd be a really good fitness instructor.
Yeah, you would.
There's a gif of someone sitting like their car is open, like the trunk is open, and he's sitting on the back of the trunk.
Right.
And he's just like, and someone else is driving his car, but he's sitting on the back of the open trunk, and he's just holding out money, and people behind him are running. And it's like, that's supposedly my motivation for running, is someone just has to throw money at me.
Be like, come get it.
Yeah.
One time my mom told me this is really horrible, and I'm sure she's changed her ways, but when I was like 12, she told me that, remember how I just told you that I was eating peanut M&Ms at my dad's house all the time? And so she got really frustrated because I gained a lot of weight. She said if I kept gaining weight, that she would start...
Deducting money from you?
No.
What?
She would start driving around the neighborhood and making me like chase the car to lose weight.
Was Alex on the trunk handing you money? Because I'd chase it.
No, I didn't get money out of it. She was just like, I would force you to chase the car around the neighborhood until you lost all the weight again. I was like, that seems really cruel for a 10-year-old, but okay.
And when I'm starting to gain too much weight, my mom won't say that I'm gaining weight. She'll just recommend gyms. She's like, well, I know there's like a really good gym. Have you been doing anything lately? And she knows it's a no.
I heard about this great lighthouse gym where you climb 200 stairs. Oh, man.
That's
I wish
fun.
I would go to that gym.
I'm saying it'd be a good time.
Yeah, it would be.
What else is happening besides me almost dropping the mic?
Probably just like crazy shit.
So there's a guy known as the Man in Blue, and apparently this is what I was saying. He will follow you all the way up the stairs and all the way down the stairs, so you can just hear him behind you.
So like when you get to the top, does he just like leave you alone?
Just hangs out, I guess.
He's like, I'll wait for you to walk back down.
Yeah, you let me know when you're ready. I'll pop on down. Supposedly, this man's name is Joseph Andreau.
Okay.
And he was one of the first keepers, or not really the first considering how old this place was. But he was a keeper there in the 1850s, and he died when he was painting the tower and fell off.
Oh my God.
And then there was another guy who hanged himself from the tower years later, who was a keeper.
What the fuck?
Another keeper died there of tuberculosis in 1889. A couple years before that, another keeper's wife died on the property. A lot of people. So one of the suspicions is that if you are working on the property, either you or someone you care about will die either on the property or near the property.
That's really fucking I mean, that guy literally lost 2 of his children.
Yeah.
Oof.
So like if you're related to it or involved in that environment at all, someone you care about might get hurt.
I mean, it sounds like a lot of people died.
Yeah.
For the amount, like in ratio to the amount of people who actually work there.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
So one lighthouse keeper was so unnerved by the Man in Blue that he actually refused to live in the lighthouse any longer and just found another place nearby, but kept working there. I guess the wages were that good.
Oh, so he worked there but lived somewhere else.
Yeah.
Okay.
So people connected to this lighthouse have died, like I said, and like one example is of like the house, quote, thinking for itself, or the ghost being in charge. Is that for no reason at all, a scaffold collapsed and beams fell down, and a spike either flew or was thrown at a worker, sending him to the hospital. So, like, even if you're on the property and not doing anything shady, the building will literally just collapse on you.
The building's like, get away from me.
It's like, why don't you understand that I need space?
Leave me alone.
Basically, all over the property is an unfriendly atmosphere, and so many mishaps will go on that the workers will ultimately just quit because they're like, I'm tired of either having to clean up something that I just cleaned up and is now dirty, or taking credit for things that people are mad about, like all these loud noises or people touching them or people walking too close to them, and I'm all the way over there, but I'm still the one getting in trouble. In the basement, the same Man in Blue, who's apparently a tall military man in uniform, has been seen standing in the doorway and walking around the room as if he's on duty. There's also pictures of him online. People will get good pictures on the property
Of like
him.
his ghost?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
There is a spirit of a little kid who will giggle and play tricks on visitors, which I don't fucking play. I don't even like normal tricks with alive people. So don't be dead and do that.
Em doesn't even play charades. Like,
exactly. Don't giggle and think I'm gonna giggle too. I'm not.
Em's not gonna have a good time.
Footsteps go up the stairs when nobody's there. One guest who was sleeping over, he woke up at 3 a.m. to see a young girl around 13 or 15, which is the same age as one of the older girls who drowned. And she was standing beside his bed in a long, old-fashioned dress staring at him, and she was soaking wet.
Oh my god. That's like Samara shit from The Ring.
Yeah.
Oh, that just gave me chills.
People will see a shadow figure and then get so cold that they feel like they're in a freezer. And in 1970, the lighthouse just caught on fire for no reason.
Oh, okay. It's just like throwing spikes and setting itself on fire.
Also, there's a lot of videos online of people's investigations. I wanted to like get a comprehensive list of all the EVPs and everything, but there's so many videos I just wasn't going to be able to collect all of them in time.
Yeah.
But if you type in St. Augustine Lighthouse ghost pictures or EVPs,
Ooh.
they're all good. But there are 2 pictures I did want to show.
Okay.
You.
We'll tweet them?
We can.
/ Instagram
This is
them?
one of the man in uniform.
Ew. Although he looks orange and not blue in that one.
Yeah, I think
I
that's
guess
more the
that's the
flash. But you can
photo.
definitely see him in a hat and like his military jacket and all
He's
that.
like walking.
Then this is a picture of an orb that they found, but it literally looks like a whole body.
That's an orb?
Yeah, but it's an orb that has stretched out into a whole human form.
Oh, it looks like a fucking woman to me.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
It has hair.
That's what I'm saying.
Never seen an orb with hair.
And then this is my favorite one. This is security footage,
Oh no.
and they found a girl in a dress standing outside the doorway.
Holy shit. Oh no.
So,
This is from myspace.com, by the way.
yeah, I know. Chris Millsap sent it over to me.
That's from the last episode, if you guys don't know the reference.
Yep.
Oh my god, that is...
Just standing there.
It looks like a lesbian porn.
I'm saying, it looks like the beginning of something in a castle.
But actually, for real, guys, look up St. Augustine ghosts. That's really, 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 really creepy.
Thanks. So anyway, that's the lighthouse
Oof.
for you.
All right. That was quite a journey. Thank you.
All right. Give me a little of that razzle-dazzle.
I'm going to razzle-dazzle you, as I said, with a story suggested by your good friend and my new friend, Deirdre.
The one and only.
It was also suggested to us by a Twitter user named Insanity Rises.
Yeah, it's probably Deirdre.
It's Deirdre's pen name. No, so our pal Insanity Rises on Twitter and Deirdre suggested this topic, and I finally got around to it. This is the story of Issei Sagawa. And I want to warn you guys, it's pretty gross. It's disturbing. So if you have like a weak stomach or like, you know, small children, maybe step away from this one, or just
Unless you're me and I just have to deal with it.
just listen to it, but just know that I warned you so you can't yell at me. Okay? Okay.
Okay.
So, a lot of this I just want to preface I got from an interview that Vice did with Sagawa himself.
Okay.
So it's very like firsthand information. And you don't know the story, right? Okay. It is a doozy. I'll tell
Okay.
you that much. Okay. Issei Sagawa, also known as Pang, which is weird because I just never saw him reference as that anywhere else, but
Apparently, maybe that's what he calls himself.
Wikipedia is like, he's also known as this. So
Yeah. So he's known as Pang on Wikipedia.
just only on wikipedia.org.
Yep.
Okay. So Issei Sagawa was born in Kobe, Japan on April 26, 1949. He was born into a wealthy family, but he was born prematurely, and he was reportedly born so small that he fit into his father's hand.
Aw.
He was also diagnosed with a disease of the small intestine called enteritis, but after several treatments, he recovered from that. So he actually described himself in that Vice article I mentioned as weak from the moment he was born. He said his legs were so skinny they looked like pencils. He was actually only 5 feet tall as an adult, so he was...
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he was pretty small. In his childhood, he admitted that he took part in bestiality with his dog.
Okay.
So that was, I didn't know how to transition into that because it was just...
Nope, just gonna do it. Just dive right in.
There is no easy way to start that conversation. So he took part in bestiality with his dog, and when he was in the first grade, he developed cannibalistic urges after seeing a classmate's thigh and wanting to eat it.
All right.
It's first grade.
Maybe that was a... You know how we all think, like, babies, like, little chubby thighs are just the cutest things in the world? Maybe that first grader just hadn't fully stretched out of his baby fat yet. And he was just like, that's a
He's like, you're so cute, I want to eat you up.
little chunky thigh.
Do you know why when we see, like, really cute puppies or kittens or babies, why you want to, like, squish them?
Why?
Like, you know, of Mice and Men, when he, like...
I mean, I already know what you're talking about because I want to squish Gio all the time.
Do you know, like, why that happens psychologically? It's really interesting. I read an article on it because I wanted to just, like, smash Gio when he was a baby. I was like, you're so cute, I want to, like, squeeze you.
No, I don't know.
It's because your brain, it's like you get such a rush of, like, endorphins that your brain can't handle it. So it, like, tries to counteract it by getting, like, almost violent, where, like, you can't control how, like, overwhelmed you are with, like, good feelings about it, that your brain kind of tries to push back, and so you just want to, like, squish it to, like, violently counteract how obsessively,
like, crazed you are.
Yeah.
Oh,
isn't it crazy?
That's a fun fact that we all know now.
Creepy. Anyway, so apparently that's not quite what was happening, I guess.
Okay, that's a whole other story.
He just wanted to eat his classmate. I don't know. I don't know how to psychologically figure that one out, but basically, after that, he developed an obsession with Grace Kelly, and he also developed an obsession with white Western people in general, especially tall white Western people. And tall Western women became the trigger for his cannibalistic fantasies.
Okay, me too.
Yeah, sure, same. He explained to Vice that this obsession stemmed from an inferiority complex because, like I said, he was 5 feet tall. He said he was always considered himself short and ugly. And he said he wanted to gnaw on people's flesh as a form of sexual desire. So he said it wasn't a real hunger, like, oh, I'm hungry for food, I want to eat a person. It was more just like a sexual fetish, as he called it. And it was to overcompensate or, like...
For being small and...
Yeah, to make up for his own insecurities.
I mean, that's just the Napoleon complex, but... with cannibalism. But
just, like, worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But he also never thought he was better than anyone. He was just like, I'm worse than everyone else, so I want to eat people. Like, he called himself ugly and short and was like, so that's why I want to eat beautiful women.
That's pretty interesting, because I would have imagined that you got to be, like, a narcissist or... Mm-hmm. All right.
He's totally like, no, I'm short and ugly, so I want to eat people.
All right.
Like, he wasn't even fucking around about, like, why. So anyway, let's fast forward, age 23. Sagawa is living in Tokyo. He sees a tall German woman heading home. He follows her back to her apartment, and after she's asleep, he breaks in. His plan was to tear off a piece of her flesh and walk away so he could eat it at home.
But
she woke up and pushed him to the ground. Police charged him with attempted rape, but he wouldn't admit to why he was actually there. So 4 years later, when he was 27, Sagawa moved to France to pursue a PhD in literature at the Sorbonne. Almost every night while living there, he would bring a sex worker home, and he would hold a gun to them, but while they were turned around.
So did they know there was a gun held to them?
No.
Oh, shit.
So he would hold a gun to their backs as they washed their vaginas in the bidet.
What?
This is what he described.
This is not on me, guys.
I didn't know. This is not me.
Don't shoot the messenger.
Do not. So he said as they would wash their vaginas in the bidet, I mean, again, we're in France. That's a thing there. He would hold a gun to, like, up behind them. And he said every single time he would freeze and he couldn't pull the trigger. But he said it wasn't his morals that stopped him. It was his instinct, because he knew the world would fall apart as soon as he pulled the trigger. Whatever the fuck that means.
Like, his world would fall apart?
Yes.
You know, that's interesting. I've had that conversation before of, like, that exact one.
I'm just like, whoa.
No.
Rewind.
The idea of like nothing stops people from doing anything except from your morals and your fear of the law.
Yeah.
Other than that, there's really nothing stopping people from doing anything they want.
What about like
really fucked up things?
What about like your fear of like going to hell or something like that? That's different than morals, isn't it? Because morals, I feel like, is more of like a societal thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
But you're right. Like it's like religion, morals, and
the law.
Like they're current, like the law, society.
But yeah. I just think that's so interesting. And it's kind of scary because it's like only those 2 things or 3 things are keeping everyone from maybe hurting you.
Which actually is something he talked about because he said, he's like, I think people just don't want to eat other people because they have the idea that it's taboo. And I'm like, I don't want to eat other people. But nice try. But he said several times, like, no, I think this is normal. Like most people want to eat other people as like a sexual thing. And I'm like,
I think it's too late for me to attribute that to sexual gratification.
What do you mean?
Like, I mean, I'm sure if I grew up thinking that was normal, then yeah, I'd be more open-minded to it at the very least. Not saying I would or wouldn't. But if I grew up in a world where it wasn't a no, then maybe I'd be like, okay, well, some people do it, some people don't. But
you wouldn't like.
But I still don't think I'd be able to.
Because I mean, this guy was born not in a family that was like, let's eat people, and he just couldn't. By the age of 6, he couldn't stop himself.
Yeah, it definitely is like is it nature or nurture? Because even though it's not like his family encouraged him, but if you're telling yourself like as young as 6 years old that this is something you want, then you're gonna grow up kind of normalizing it.
Yeah, but is that like nature? Like, is that nurture in the sense that like other people are fostering that, or is that just like it's part of you? So as you grow up,
I don't know if he was. I feel like if he was born with it and at age 0 that was gonna eventually become a trigger, then it's nature. But if at 6 years old something just happened and no one ever told him no, that's wrong, he nurtured himself into thinking it was normal.
But like, how at 6 is anyone gonna be like, by the way, don't eat? Like, I feel like a society in general tells you not to do. Like, he knew it wasn't a thing you could do, I feel like some people grow up with fetishes. Like some people have a foot fetish, some people have a whatever fetish, some people
eat your face fetish,
and some people like have something fucking crazy like this that they sexualize, and they're like, no, it's normal, and it's like,
I mean, I don't even know the rest of the story, and I know that's probably incredibly fucked up, and I'm
gonna erase this. Go on.
No, you're fine. I don't want to like condone anything that he's doing, but I'd like to think I'm like usually an open-minded person for people having like weird kinks and fetishes, like, and weird is not even the right word that I should be using, but like there's a lot of different interests out there.
Absolutely.
There'd be no way for me to ever judge someone, so I don't want to be a dick and judge him.
But that's what I'm saying is like, I feel like this guy's using that as a reason for like, oh, the things I'm doing are like normal and fine. Yeah, like, oh, I can do this because it's just an innate thing. And it's like,
I gotcha.
Because, it's like, okay, sure. I probably erased this too, but like some people, as we've discussed, I think some people are born with like a pedophilic like urge or tendency. And it's like, that doesn't mean you can go do child porn and like
right.
kidnap kids and rape them.
Like even if it's innate, naturally born in you still know better than to not do it.
And like, sure, that is fucking awful, and it's not fair you have to live like that, but it's also like, that doesn't mean you can automatically like hurt other people. Yeah. I don't know. So
okay, I agree with you.
But yeah, again, like, I know the rest of the story, so it's like harder to
I don't know what's
be
coming.
Impartial. But yes, okay. Okay, so anyway, he would try and shoot sex workers, but he like couldn't do it. But he said it wasn't his morals. It was just like the inherent knowledge that the second he did it, like
his world would collapse.
Yeah, exactly. So apparently, at this point, he had this moment of realization that he decided he needed to carry out his ritual of killing a girl no matter what.
Oh, no.
Which he explained himself. This is his words. So a little while into his studies, when he was 32 years old, Sagawa met a Dutch woman named Renee Hartevelt, who was one of his classmates at the Sorbonne. He found all the French women he had met up to then very beautiful, but stuck up and out of his league, in his words. But he said Renee was different. She was friendly. She was warm. She wanted to be friends with him. And so they developed a bond. One night, Sagawa invited Hartefelt over for a hot pot party. It was just the two of them. She came over and she was washing her hands. And he said when he saw her washing her hands, he was reminded of the sex workers washing themselves in the bidet and knew she was the next candidate for his ritual. So every time she came over, so nothing happened that night, but every time she came over from then on out, he would find himself pointing a gun at her like he did with the sex workers, and he couldn't shoot. Can you imagine how many times she came over to hang out at his place and he's just like holding a gun to her back?
And she didn't know, right?
No idea. Like, it's happened many times where he just couldn't pull the trigger.
That's like finding out now that that's what I've been doing to you this whole time.
I was about to say, it's like one of us fucking like almost killing each other every time we came over.
That's so horrifying.
It's horrifying. So one day, an employee from his father's company in Japan came to Paris. So the employee took Sagawa out to dinner for Japanese food. And Sagawa had a fever and spent the whole dinner thinking about how Hartefelt was coming over the next day. And he was worrying that if he got food poisoning from the raw fish they were eating, that he wouldn't be able to realize his fantasy. So he spent all day just like obsessing and worrying over that point.
Okay.
And that's why the next day he decided to finally pull the trigger.
Oh, okay.
But the gun misfired and nothing happened.
No.
And he said he went hysterical. So he like held the gun, but it wasn't a thing where like she knew it misfired. He just pulled the trigger and nothing happened.
So she didn't even recognize that a gun was still pointed at her.
She had no idea, and she came...
That's a guardian angel stepping the fuck in.
But she came back.
Oh, my.
Well, yes. So 2 days later, she came over again. So basically, he pulled the gun, right, like guardian angel, like nothing happened. And then 2 days later, he invited her over again.
Yeah.
Because he said at that point he was hysterical and knew he had to do it. So he crept up from behind, holding his breath. He described this in the Vice article. He said he held his breath, crept up from behind, went right up to her, pulled the trigger directly into her neck, and she died instantly. Apparently he fainted from the shock of it because he had never actually killed anybody before. Mm-hmm. Then he woke up and continued with his plan. He said, quote, "For a split second, I thought about calling an ambulance, but then I thought, hang on, don't be stupid. You've been dreaming about this for 32 years, and now it's actually happening." Sagawa raped her corpse.
Oh, my God.
And then next, as you can guess, he tried to eat her. Mm-hmm. He couldn't manage to bite into her skin because, as he said, human skin is much thicker than he expected. So he left the apartment and bought a butcher knife. He spent the next 2 days eating various parts of her body and would store the rest in the fridge. This is a passage from the interview that I just couldn't even write in my own words. I just want to read it to you because it's just like so beyond not okay. He said, "This must sound rich coming from me, but the moment the girl became a corpse, I realized that I had lost an important friend and even regretted killing her for a moment. What I truly wished was to eat her living flesh. Nobody believes me, but my ultimate intention was to eat her, not necessarily to kill her. To this day, I still think, if only she had let me taste her just a little bit. If we had spent another evening having dinner and chatting about our families, I never would have been able to kill her. In other words, I can't project my fantasies onto somebody who is already personified in my mind. That's why my first candidates were all prostitutes. I had a lot of other female friends as well, but I would never have dreamed of eating them since I considered them human beings with their own individual personalities. People tell me that I killed her because I loved her, but why would I kill and eat someone whom I truly loved?"
That's a lot of information.
That was long, I know.
No, it's just
like that's his
like, so
explanation.
He only regrets it because he had already cared for her.
Yeah, he was like, well, I guess I realized once she was dead, like, oh, I kind of missed her. It's like, no. You spent every time she came over attempting to kill her.
Yep.
Whatever.
That's gnarly.
It's fucked up. It's gnarly. A few days later, Sagawa was spotted carrying 2 suitcases into a park outside of Paris. The suitcases contained what was left of Renee Hartefelt. Police apprehended Sagawa and he was arrested. Upon his arrest, he claimed that he had eaten her in an attempt to absorb her energy.
Oh my God.
So, police arrest him, open and shut case, right? Mm-hmm. Well, despite eyewitness accounts, evidence at his apartment of like her being dead and being eaten there, and his confession that, yes, I ate her.
Hi, I'm right here admitting it.
Hello. Police were unable to convict him.
Why? How? For what? For why?
His wealthy father provided him a lawyer, and a judge found that he was legally insane and was therefore unable to stand trial for her murder. Soon after that, a Japanese author visited Sagawa in Paris and published an account of the murder in Sagawa's eyes. So it was like an account from his perspective, and that's called In the Fog.
Okay.
So Sagawa became somewhat of a celebrity, and because of that, French authorities decided to have him deported back to Japan, where he was committed to a hospital for psychiatric reasons. But there, the psychologist declared him sane and determined that his sole motivation for the murder was sexual perversion.
Uh-huh.
And because the charges in France had been dropped, Sagawa couldn't be legally detained, so he checked himself out of the hospital on August 12th, 1986, and has remained free ever since.
So he's free.
Totally. And he'd never been imprisoned. Hence the Vice interview where he's just like, oh, hey, so I just like wanted to eat this lady.
And he can just straight up admit it and no one can do anything now.
The Vice article is horrifying. Horrifying. Like, he explains how he ate her body and like what parts.
How did he do it?
He said the thighs were the best part.
Well, that also could, not to like, split hairs here, but he also could think that it's the best because that's the part he's wanted to eat for the longest.
That's true. He also said that the first thing he ate were her genitals.
Oh.
He said she was on her period, so it smelled really bad, and that he swallowed them whole because it smelled too bad to eat, to chew on.
What?
He said that her heels tasted really bad. He said that her tongue tasted great. He said that the farther up the body you go, the better tasting a body is. And he said that after a couple days of sitting, the body tastes sweeter, and it's a much more pleasant taste than when it's raw and when they're first
weird
killed. So fucked up. She's 25.
And he's just able to waltz around and admit it.
He doesn't care at all. Totally.
And he can totally get away with it.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
just so
He's described how in an interview, how the fat in her butt was like corn, so he didn't want to eat it. So he cut all the way down to like the meat, to the muscle. It's like,
wow. That's a lot to take in.
It's really, that's why, yeah. Okay. Anyway.
Oh, good. There's more.
Okay. So these days, Sagawa, as I said, is free. He writes articles and books about the murder and also about famous women. He recently, it was probably like 5 or 6 years ago now, he published a book called Extremely Intimate Fantasies of Beautiful Girls. He told Vice that being known as a murderer and living out in the open is the worst punishment one could get.
Oh, great. I'm sorry. It's so rude of us to call you a murderer when you don't even have to serve time.
Must be so hard to like live your life however you want.
Honestly, I don't know how you do it.
And he said he'd rather have been executed or locked up because at least when you're in jail, you get shelter and clothes.
That could be a situation that he's already experienced where he says he wants to do something because a certain thing, and then he actually would do it and be like, well, this is not something I want.
Oof.
I think he should be thankful that he's not in jail, although the rest of us should be so
he should
mad.
Be thankful. Yeah, what a fucking asshole. He also said you can't imagine how difficult it is to live under surveillance from society. It's like, you ate your best friend.
I can't imagine how horrible that must be for you.
You literally shot your best friend and then ate her body. 25-year-old woman.
Yeah, they're there. We'll try to be better to you now.
Finally, the woman who was like trying to be friends with you. Asshole. So Sagawa asked his interviewer at Vice if they could call for young, beautiful women who would willingly like to be eaten by him.
Oh my.
He says he still craves human flesh more than anything and is intent on tasting it again before he dies. He says it would be worth it even if he was executed for it. So that's great. This guy's just on the streets like, I don't care if they kill me. I just want to eat human flesh.
Jesus, he didn't learn from the first time at all.
No, he said it was the most amazing experience he's ever had and he wants to do it again.
Can you imagine being the interviewer in a room alone listening to this guy being like, oh yeah, I don't care if they kill me. I'll do anything I can to get my hands on human flesh. And he's staring you in the eyes.
Oh, for sure. He also said his ideal way to die would be to drown in a woman's saliva. He said that he couldn't imagine a better way to pass away.
I can.
He even had a friend who willingly let him drink her urine regularly. She would stand above him and pee into his mouth. And he said it was just the most delicious and wonderful thing he's ever experienced. And he also said that when she had a baby, she would leave him containers of her pee to drink. But he said that once she had a baby, it tasted different because he could taste her motherhood in the urine. And so it was no longer delicious because she had turned from a sex object to
like an old matron.
No, just like a human. He said she turned from like a sexual object to like an actual person who had a baby
and a story and
a
mother.
And do you want to know what his biggest regret is?
Oh yeah.
That he didn't have grandchildren for his parents, but he said nothing else he regrets. What a fucking asshole.
Stupid.
It makes me so mad. So yeah, that's some cannibal fun for you.
Cannibal fun.
Thanks, Deirdre, and Insanity Rises.
Thanks, Insanity Rises.
Pretty nuts, so.
Deirdre. Or Geo. Shit.
Deirdre, shut the fuck up.
Geo, sit. Sorry, Deirdre.
Deirdre, shut up.
Baby G. Aw.
Speaking of Baby G.
I'm ready for it.
I got it.
Okay, give me the horoscope.
I got the Geo horoscope.
Gimme.
Because that story really kind of fucked me up.
Oh yeah, I imagine that one had to take you for a ride.
Just like cleanse from that story. It's very, very fucking tragic. Can you imagine being her family too? And like
my god, he's not even sorry.
Nothing. He's not sorry. Oh, he also became a celebrity and an author and a reporter. Like he just talks openly about how
that would suck the worst. Not even that he got away with it or that he's not sorry, but the fact that he's now getting asked for paid interviews to openly, no remorse at all,
for sure,
just talk about your child or your sibling or your friend.
He's a celebrity, and he also, he has no remorse. He's basically a celebrity, and he complains that he has to be out in society.
Yeah. Oh wow, I'm so sorry for you.
Pisses me off. Anyway, so to cleanse our palates, I have a little geo horoscope.
Baby G, are you ready?
A geoscope? Is that what we call them?
A little baby geoscope.
A geoscope. Okay.
Ready? Listen up.
Ready, baby G?
Baby.
Scorpio horoscope. Still musing over the weekend's romantic escapades?
Baby G.
Don't rush to back to business mode. Today, the moon and dreamy Neptune embrace in your 5th house of passion, adding a sensual spin to your Sunday agenda.
Baby G.
An attraction could spark, or you could be feeling especially amorous.
With me, baby.
Nobody to sidle up to yet? Get glamorous for yourself, Scorpio.
Aww.
Spend extra time on your appearance, adding drama to your eye makeup, or popping by the salon to do something creative with your hair.
Aww.
When you feel fabulous, you radiate magical energy that others will find irresistible.
Baby G, you radiate magical energy that others can't resist.
Geo, you are so irresistible.
You're so good.
Your eye makeup and your hair, it's just too much.
Oh, he's smiling. Oh, itty bitty baby. He's so good.
Oh, guys.
Baby handsome G.
Thanks for sticking around.
You're like almost 40 episodes in deep, so
sucks for you guys.
We have to start thinking about planning Gio's birthday party.
Oh, that's coming up.
He's gonna be 2 years old.
Oh my god, he's gonna be 2 years old.
He's so handsome, such a good baby boy.
Little baby boy.
Oh, my sweet babu, he's gonna be.
Sweet
my
babu.
Sweet babu will be 2.
Oh my god, that's the theme of the party.
Aw.
That's definitely the theme of the party.
And then next year will be baby G is turning 3.
Oh,
I can't handle myself.
Oh my.
Make it stop.
Oh my god.
He's so cute. Christine, I love him so much.
You do? That's weird. I didn't know that.
Oh, he's my best friend. Anyway, thanks guys for putting up with me.
Yeah, thanks for putting up with M. You can find us on the internet, so.
Oh, is that your way of telling me I have to do it?
Uh-huh.
You can find us on our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, ATWWD Podcast. We also have a Patreon that you can donate. Please donate. ATWWD Podcast. ATWW. Yeah, I did it right.
Yeah, you got it.
Then we've got our email, and that's why we drink at gmail.com, where you can send in your listener stories. We do it once a month on the 1st, every time. We have our website, and that's why we drink.com. We have our merch store, and that's why we drink.bigcartel.com. We have, you can find us on Stitcher, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spotify.
All over the net.
Thank you. Don't stop, won't stop.
Don't stop, won't stop. Can't stop, won't stop. Also, check out First Leaf Wine again, because I'm not joking. I just wish I had another bottle of this. It's First Leaf. It's called tryfirstleaf.com/drink. Check it out. Seriously, I'm not joking.
The bottle's really empty.
And it's also a really cool label, so.
It is. It looks like a tarot card of Little Red Riding Hood.
Actually, I've noticed a lot of their labels do look like tarot cards, which obviously is right down my alley, so.
Yes.
Anyway, thanks guys so much. We love you all. Send in your stories, etc., etc.
All right, and that's why we drink.
And that's why I drink. Clink, clink. Roof.
Roof.
We're stupid.